Welcome to Collecting Chaos. I decided it's time for me to do a little work on this, and I'm going to let you follow along as I do it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cover off so that I can initiate some repairs, but I'm not going to try to repair it right away. I'm actually going to do a little cleaning, but I still want to remove the cover. Can't get over how white these pages are for a comic that's 68 years old. I mean, it's in bad, the comic itself is in bad shape, but the pages are just really nice and white, which seems kind of strange. Okay, let's take out these staples, and I have a little, it's a card box, but I'm going to put the staples in it so I don't lose them, because I have a habit of losing staples real quickly. And this way I can get it out. That way I can hang on to them, put the cover on it, and I won't lose it, hopefully. Okay. Put the interior over here, and let's take a better look at this tear. Yeah, this is one of those really bad tears because it's torn actually on the inside of the page. It might actually be better to glue it than to tape it. Unfortunately, I'm out of the paper repair glue that I would use. I could make some out of rice. I don't think I want to do that yet. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do some cleaning before I can put this back together, I think, because I don't want to iron it with all the dirt on it. See, this actually goes over that. So yeah. Gotta be real careful when I do this one. Anyway, I'm going to start with cleaning, and for that I've got a ruler, but not just any ruler. This has a cork back, and this will allow me to place it on the comic, press down on it, and then clean an area without having to worry about making further tears. Even when I start getting over to where this comic is torn, I can hold it down a little easier, and hopefully that will help me out some. This is a little trick that I've never showed before, so I figured I'd go ahead and show it to you now. Okay, I'm going to get ready to start cleaning, and I'm going to go gather up all my materials, and I'll be right back. So here's what I've got. I've got my white eraser. I have a magic eraser, because that's sometimes I use those. I have a cleaning sponge. This is in particularly used for taking off surface dirt and soot, but it works pretty well on comic books. I've used it on a lot of stuff, and it absorbs a lot of dirt. And I have a 1-inch soft brush, so I can sweep away any eraser pieces. I also have my little bone tool, although I probably won't be using it today. And let's get started. Now you see how that how the ruler with the cork backing holds the paper down so that I can do a little more detailed erasure without having to worry about tearing it or making it worse. And by going a little bit at a time, I can hold it down and I can kind of compare. As you can see, this half of it, or this third of it, is a whole lot better than this. Although this is better than this up here because it's just got a lot more print on it. Hopefully I'll be able to even that out once I start using the some of the other stuff. Wish I could find my absorbing. That's what I really want. But I have no idea what happened to it. I'll probably find it later hidden behind something where the cat knocked it off the table and decided it was a good toy. He does that a lot. Okay, I'm going to continue cleaning this, and I'll pick up the video again later once I get it a little fairly clean and get ready to do actual repairs. In the meantime, go have a cup of coffee or 5. Okay, I've got it somewhat clean, clean enough. I'm not trying to get it perfect, and I went ahead and use my iron to flatten out the creases. I may end up having to dig out my press later and go ahead and press this comic once I get it all back the way I want it. Now I think I'm going to start with the spine split first. And that will help hold the other tear in place. I'm going to have to hit that with the iron again, I think. Make sure it's nice and flat. Yeah, I like that. That'll work. Now the reason I'm not going to start up here is because these do overlap and they go into each other kind of like this. So, you know, you have one piece and then you have two other pieces of the tear and they fit together like that. So that's why I'm not going to start with taping that part of it. I've got out my trusty mending tissue. I'm going to trim off this end because it's folded over a little bit. And I'm going to need a fairly long piece. And don't worry, I don't have the virus. I just have a my normal allergies. And I do cough stuff up. It's not a dry cough. And that's one of the things the coffee is for, is to keep my throat moist. Well, that, and it's pretty early in the morning and I do like my coffee. putting a little more on here than I would normally. This spine is really weak. Now, rather than trying to put one long piece on this tear, I'm going to use smaller pieces so that I can control the repair a little better. Could use my actual mending tape for this, but don't think I... Okay, my camera decided that the card was full and it stopped recording, and I'm not sure exactly what you missed, but the pages are the cover is about as good as I'm going to get it. It does look a little bit better. It's not going to fall apart today. I used a lot more of the tape than I wanted to, and I put some on the back side too because that was just too flimsy. So we'll see what happens. Like I said before, it's still going to be a fair comic. I'm going to list that it has had some repairs done to it. I'm not planning on selling it anytime soon, but I need those notes in the event that I ever do decide to sell it. I want people to be, I want to be upfront and honest with people. I want them to know if I've done anything to the book. So let's get this first cover, or this first page fixed up, and that includes doing a little bit of taping and ironing, and I don't even know if you need to see all this stuff. I have no idea who'd be interested in this sort of thing. Well, other than me and maybe Bub. Bub might be interested. If you haven't watched it, go take a look at Bub's YouTube channel. He's got some pretty good stuff on there, and I enjoy watching it sometimes, so I'm thinking you might too, and it never hurts to show a little love for another YouTube collector, and maybe we can convince him to show us a cleaning, because I know he cleans comics and he also presses them, and from what I've seen he does a really good job, and he also does some minor repairs. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to use this to hold it down so I can that'll hold it in place long enough for me to put a little mending tissue on it. And I'm actually going to put this on the ruler and then I'll peel it off the ruler and onto the page. Now, in case you're wondering why I haven't done this piece yet, I am actually going to use some of my wider document tape right there, simply because it's such a big piece. It's so wide, and it's all cracked in a lot of different places. And it's either use a whole lot of little pieces or one larger piece, and I think the one larger piece is going to be better for it. Little piece up here, and we should be done with this page. Okay, I believe that's the worst page, and I'll see you when it's time for assembly. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the comic. Well, it's time for me to reassemble it. I've already marked my holes for my staple on the bottom, and that went through okay. Now I'm going to bend it over with my fingernails. because for some reason this is a better method than what I was using before. Sometimes you don't need special tools. Now I'll mark the top staple. They do make little tiny awls for this type of work, and you can purchase them. It's just that I had, you know, extra needles laying around, and I had, you know, I've got like 15 or 20 X-Acto knife holders, so, or handles. So I figured I'd just make my own. This staple's pretty bad. Let me get my pliers out. Might end up having to straighten it, rebend it, which is always kind of dangerous, because you never know when doing that is going to break the staple. And I don't have any 1951 Dell staples. I think I got a 53, but not a 51. And there are subtle differences from year to year. I think it all depended on the wire they purchased and how cheap it was. You know, I'm sure they went to the lowest bidder to get their wire. Gonna have to. It looks like it went through okay. Right through the original holes, that's a good thing. And we'll fold the staples over, get them as flat as we can. Now we got a little spine roll we need to remove. Don't really want to get out my press because I got a bunch of stuff laying on top of it. A bunch of toy boxes and stuff. Or boxes of toys, not toy boxes, but boxes of toys. So there you go. I think it looks a little better. It will definitely last a few more extra years. And it's always nice when I can give more life to a comic book that's older than me. Even if it's not that much older than me. So we'll put it in this Mylar sleeve. And of course, everybody knows Mylar makes things look much, much better. And there you have it. My Red Ryder Repair. Real quick update on this. I kept saying that fair was the condition that I was going to put it on, but when I went back and I looked at the label that I had already created for it, let's zoom in here. And I'll center it. On the label I had already written fair to good, so I just left it at that because, you know, it qualifies as fair to good. It's not missing any pieces. Yeah, it's been repaired, but it would be fair to good even without the repairs. So, yeah, I just went ahead and I thought I'd show you. Unfortunately, I don't think I can zoom in enough for you to see the writing, but what it says here is white pages, torn cover repaired, spine splits repaired, light cleaning. And that pretty much covers what I did, even though it took me a long, long time. So, that's it. The only thing else I have to say is wash your hands. Bye.